dude, like gave me that kind of look.
Do you not know my products? It was funny.
I also may have told him to give you a hard time.
Oh, okay. Well, he did a good
job.
Yeah, because Cindy said something. He like chewed her out too.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's like
Did he harp on you at all about liking Carson City?
No.
Dang it! I asked him to do that.
But yeah, it was something about like different player modes, and I said, that's probably you know Kickstarter. That's a stretch goal. And Connor says, no, I don't do that crap. My game is finished when I go to Kickstarter.
Oh, that also may have been because we had a really involved discussion about Kickstarter. Like, so Thursday night we had every night I always ended up in the hotel in the Home 2 lobby until like midnight at the earliest. And the first night we were there, we ended up hanging out with a bunch of people. There was a couple guys that do a website called the Game Steward, which is apparently, I hadn't heard about it, so it was kind of cool for me. They do a website that they just go and back a bunch of Kickstarter games, and then if you find out about the game afterwards, you can back through them, or you can buy it through them.
Oh, cool.
So, and then you can still get like all the Kickstarter exclusives and stuff. And so we had that. There was a guy that ran a game store, and then one or two other people. We were just having this big industry discussion kind of thing. It was like a 3-4 hour discussion about various gaming related things, and stretch goals did come up on that during that conversation.
Yeah, you also got to try the new abstract game that Inside Up is doing.
Yeah, I forget the name of it. It was a German name.
Standpunkt Sculptor.
Yeah.
Which means viewpoint sculpture.
Oh,
which is why he's
that
keeping
makes
it.
sense. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of abstract games in general, and so that one was very frustrating.
Yeah, that was the first.
Just don't think
that was the
way.
first game I got to play. Was Connor's prototype of that, because it stands out because it's this really 3D thing. The box basically separates and has these pillars that come in. You may have seen the picture of it.
Oh.
And it has like these little, it's like 3D Tetris pieces on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I did see that picture. Yep,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
no, it's
As soon as I played it, I like texted Colin. I was like, "You need to try this game," because I know Colin likes abstracts.
yeah.
And there's like a loose theme. Like apparently, it started off as like it was like a Martian theme, but then he rethemed it. He rethemed it to be more like you're making sculptures kind of thing. That's where the name comes in.
Yeah. I mean, I see the appeal behind the game, but my brain just does not work
I
that
loved
way.
it. I loved this game.
Well, yeah, you really like patchwork and all that.
Yeah, well, like Cindy's talking for all the reasons Cindy's saying that, like her brain doesn't work that way. My brain was in.
Yeah.
It was also probably the atmosphere too.
Well, maybe, but I love patchwork, but adding in the 3D effect of this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no. Too much.
And it's not just like you're looking at it top down versus from the side. I mean, the side, like putting stuff like in the foreground. It's you're looking from the side point of view.
Okay,
so stuff that looks like
that. It's like that one, the optical illusion of the triangle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can. I got you.
Yeah,
Or
and
you'll see like pictures or vines where it's like something hanging, and depending on which way the camera turns, it looks like a So you're placing things in
all about
3D, but y'all
perspective.
caring about your 2D projection of what you can see.
Yeah.
So you put stuff. You get these little cards that are objectives that'll be like different shapes, 2D shapes that you need to make out of colors.
Yeah.
And you're taking blocks and putting them up on top to make that shape. And there's different placement rules on where you can place things. But yeah, so it's cool because you can, like Cindy was trying to get one card done. Like I cannot figure. I just took the card out and turned it sideways because you could rotate the cards. I just rotated it sideways, like just put this here.
Yeah.
Ta-da! And she was just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, it takes what I like about the gift games, like because those games are like it's a 2D space, but you're thinking about it in 3 dimensions almost because it's all triangles. So you're going, and this is like the inverse of that. Is you're thinking in a 2-dimensional space, but using a 3-dimensional thing to do it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sucks because everybody has a secret objective of you want to have a lot of whatever your color is facing you.
Okay.
And by the end of the game, like everybody had like a bunch of one other color that wasn't theirs.
Yeah.
Like if you went around the table, like, man, if I was on your side, I would have been rocking on points.
Yeah. That was like that. I think you had the game. It was a PS3 game.
Echo Chrome.
Echo Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just had to you change the way the map's oriented
Mm-hmm.
to make it look proper, and then your dude walks down the path.
Yep.
Yeah. That game frustrates me too.
It frustrates me even.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is like, what did y'all do on Friday? Because like I kept saying like, hey, you gonna come by the booth? And then like I wouldn't hear anything. So I'm assuming y'all were busy doing stuff.
Friday, we got to the convention center, or we got to Philly, and we dropped our bags off at the hotel. Then I forgot my phone in the car.
Oh, I heard about
So we had
this.
to walk to the car. Then I fell and skinned my knee. So, like, I'm not kidding. My knee is
Or your shin, yeah.
my shin, not my knee, my shin. Yeah, so I fell, skinned my shin, and it hurt real bad. So we walked to the car, and it was like, I was literally like 200 feet from the hotel when I fell. So, yeah, whatever. So we just kept walking to the car, and then I get there, and I pull up my pant leg. I'm like, I'm bleeding. I should probably do something about this. And so Colin, luckily we had like a little mini first aid kit in the backpack. And so Colin pulls out like a wet wipe, or, one of the, not antibacterial, like a special, like,
Yeah, no, I'm
wipe
just thinking
that's-
of that burning.
no, it wasn't. It was just kind of like a wet nap. It was just kind of a,
Yeah, but isn't that still alcohol based?
I don't know.
No,
it didn't
it's
sting.
your wet nap moist towelette things are
It's kind of watery. It's a
like
water base.
it's like a super watered down soap.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so
okay.
so I wiped myself up
It
with
was
that.
a cleansing
and then,
wipe. That's what it was.
Yeah. And then thankfully, literally across the street from where the parking lot where the car was a CVS. So we went in and I got myself bandaged up.
You
and
mean
everything.
KVS
KVS Bahamakai?
for Hamakai.
Bahamakai.
Whatever. Anyway, so then we finally made it over to the convention center. It was probably like 11:30 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't even know what we did. I don't even
We
remember.
needed
They
to
got
eat.
it. They got in, and then they went to get food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
were
probably what
hungry.
happened. I didn't eat breakfast, so we probably did get food right away. And then we walked around some of the vendor hall. We met Kurt. We
That's
stopped by
right.
Smirk and Dagger, and we played this was so cool and exciting. So they have 2 new games coming out. This one's coming in March, and it's called
That's a weird
It's
name.
called The Deadlies. No, the next game that's going to be officially out is called The Deadlies, and I
Mhm.
think it's being released in March.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And it's a card game, and it's kind of Uno-ish because you're
I'd
trying
almost
to be
relate it more to Rummy, but in
You're-
an Uno style.
yeah, you're trying to be the first one to get rid of all your cards, kind of thing. And you have 7 cards, and each of the cards has like a different suit, and when you lay it
It's
down,
6 cards actually.
You got 6 cards?
Six-
You start
six,
with 6
4,
cards.
2, 0, yeah.
You're right. I'm thinking of a different game. So you start, everybody gets 6 cards, and each card has a different suit on it. And when you lay the card down, I'm thinking of the 7 sins.
Yeah, that's
There's
based off of.
7 suits. There we go. And when you play one down, you do its effect. And most of the time, it's something towards your opponents, kind of thing. Like one of them.
One of
it's-
them straight up, it's Wrath. It makes you pick a player, they draw 2 cards.
Hmm.
But
But if they play a wrath,
they can play a Wrath too, make you draw 2 cards, and you
And
go
you can
back
keep
and
going
forth
back and
until you
forth.
run out.
yeah. And then there's like lust, and lust. You say it's one of those things where you can
Pick a partner.
pick a partner.
Yeah. Checkity check. Check.
Should be there now.
Let us know.
It's the bar's moving.
Okay.
Ah, there we go.
So the designers.
So yeah, it turned out 2 designers that we are big fans of, Danny Devine and Stephen Aramini, were staying in the hotel also. And so on Sunday,
Sunday morning,
we saw them walk through the lobby. I was like, "Hey, Stephen!"
we had met
What's
him
up,
the
buddy?
day before.
Oh, is that who you yelled at while you were at breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because like I'm sitting at dinner or at breakfast with them.
Oh yeah, we had breakfast with you 2 days in a row. It was
yeah.
great.
And then just all of a sudden, like Han's like, "Hey!" and like gets up and goes and greets this guy. I'm like, that's what that's like.
Yeah.
It was Stephen Aramini and Danny Devine that came into the breakfast room. But Stephen, we had actually met the day before. He was at the Weird Giraffes Galactic Raptors booth because he designed a game called Animal Kingdoms for Galactic Raptors. Was it Galactic Raptors or was it?
Well, it was in the.
It was in that
one of the
family.
companies.
It's in that family. And we actually demoed it with him and talked with him for a little bit on Saturday. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
'Cause he's a really nice guy.
And so I got to sit with them. I had Sprawlopolis and Circle the Wagons on me, so I got both their autographs on the rules. I like to sign the rules, not the box.
Oh yeah, I'm
well,
glad
it's just a wallet anyway, so it'd take up the whole thing.
I'm glad they signed the rules for sure. So that was pretty exciting.
And also the Ghost Love Candy. I brought that because I knew Danny Devine was going to be at the convention. I was like, I gotta get his autograph on that because I love that game.
Yeah, it is a great game.
I saw that in a clearance bin at Books a Million when I was going home.
Ghost
Oh,
Love
yeah?
Sandy?
Yeah.
Aw.
But yeah, it's a great game, but it's got Steve Jackson games on it, and it has
Well, there was
also
a bunch of,
there's a Kickstarter.
There was a
thing.
bunch of other stuff that was in that clearance bin, so it was not like anything on that game. There was like I think there was something else I actually thought about. I was like, ooh.
But yeah,
tell him about the Kickstarter.
so yeah, apparently Ghost Love Candy originally, I heard all this from Danny. He said that the Kickstarter funded and then the company tanked. And so all the backers didn't get anything out of it. But then Steve Jackson talked with Danny and said, "Hey, you have the rights with this. They reverted back to you. Can we print it?" And he said, "Sure." And they printed it, and they printed enough to send to all the backers.
Yeah, I always
That's
like when
good.
stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
really nice.
yeah, but
like that they also did that with the Doom that came to Atlantic City.
Ah, cool.
But yeah, so it had a lot of bad rap from that Kickstarter too, and a lot of people like me. My initial impression, Steve Jackson, are like, they make Munchkin. Is this going to be just another Munchkin thing?
Yeah.
But then, like, we got it to review originally,
Yeah.
and I remember I was like, well, I'll look at the PDF because we were in Alaska at the time. I said, this actually sounds kind of nice.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. And I played, and it was even better.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Oh my gosh, Philip. So I have one thing that you should have been at PAX only for the fact that I went by the Ares booth because I took the picture of what was for sale,
Oh yeah.
and they had a campaign for the Battlestar Galactica minis Starship battles
Yep.
that was based on the 33-minute scenario.
I saw
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
cool.
I saw that on. It was on the sign. Yeah, it was on the
Yeah.
sign talking about that. I'm like, that's wicked.
So you want to tell them about your story
Yeah.
with Battlestar Galactica?
What?
And Pax Unplugged?
This is all the way that her talking about that you ended up owing them money for.
Oh, I mean,
She kept telling this story. Like I heard this story.
I said
like
it to you. No, I only said
I
it once.
heard you telling it to other people.
Yeah. That
I
makes
only
sense.
said it like twice.
We heard it both times.
Then that must have been it.
No, I just thought it was
not
funny.
really a story.
No, I.
My friends bought me stuff at PAX, and I paid them back for it.
But it was a lot of stuff. That was the
The
catch.
I think the funny thing is, like, we were paying you to watch the animals at our house
You're like, just deduct it from my.
from my
my
pay,
fee,
and then it went into the negative. Is what happened.
No, I figured that I could do math. I figured that was going to happen, even though it didn't have the price for the player boards on the sign, but they weren't a new release. So
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, I hope he knows what this is.
I know exactly what it is.
Well, no, I mean like what the price was.
Oh,
Well, they gave us a deal because you like buy
Yeah.
two get one is what they were doing,
Mhm.
so it was nice.
Oh, you played Rail Pass, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah, the night when I went back, I played a whole bunch of games with Matt Hawker, who's in the chat now, and we tried out Rail Pass 2-player.
I've
And
played this game 6-player.
that's what it needs to be, is what we determined. Like I mean, the amount of time it takes to set up the game at 2-player is like longer than it takes to play the game.
That's crazy.
Because you have to set up, each player has to set up 3 boards, and then it's crazy. And I think it kind of burns your brain a little bit more because you're thinking about, okay, I have 3 boards, he's got 3 boards. Oh, he's passing me a train, and you go, woo woo. It says in the rules you got to make the noises when you hand the train off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because we were doing just kind of going choo choo, because there's like we're at the Gen Con dealer hall when I heard when I played it, and there's just like 6 of us all like choo choo, choo choo. Take the dang train, choo choo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun game, but yeah, I think it needs to be a 6-player game.
It's a fun game that I would play if somebody else had it, but I would not seek this game out. Like I would definitely play it again, but it was very brain burny, and it is an experience game. You got to have the right group for that game.
Yeah, we all Sunday was our big day in the vendor hall. Like we were all over the place on Sunday, and we got to talk with quite a few publisher people.
Yeah, we talked with North Star.
Bruce
from North Star, and we got
Who lives nearby apparently.
Really?
Yeah,
That's right.
he's
You
a
talked about
he's a
that.
Baltimore guy.
That's really cool. I did not know that.
But yeah, we talked with him. Got the intel on the game they have coming out next year, I think.
Yeah, I think he said it's going to Kickstarter, right?
I can't remember, but Paint the Roses. It's Alice in Wonderland themed. It's a cooperative deduction game. And yeah, we played a early print and play prototype because Steph, our friend, had
she had it.
She loves Alice in
years
Wonderland,
ago.
so Bruce sent it to her, like the files, and she printed them off, and we got to try it out.
Yeah. It was pretty cool then, and seeing like the gameplay itself doesn't seem to have changed much, but it looks really good now, and it's going to be real cool, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because he was talking about a deluxe versus non-deluxe version. Because he was saying the deluxe version is going to be like the bakelite tiles, like in Azul, and the regular version will just be like chipboard. But I was like, ooh, the bakelite.
Yeah, and then it's cool because the queen is chasing you, because your score is one thing and the queen is mad and she's chasing after you, and the prototype version we played, it was just kind of like a pawn or whatever, but he had a 3D printed queen. It was like huge. It was probably
4 inches tall.
4 inches tall. And as she's getting madder and madder and faster coming at you, you add little rose tokens underneath of her. And so she gets higher and higher. It was huge. It was so cool.
But yeah, if she ever catches you, you lose.
Oh.
Right. So you have to,
Well,
your score has to be
you
higher.
lose your head.
Right,
Yes.
right, exactly.
And then you lose.
Oh,
And
and
then-
then he said that they're working on variants to the game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the different, apparently once your day is done, painting the roses, planting all the roses, you're like, well, I guess I just have to wake up and do this again tomorrow because I'm trapped in this, world, whatever. But if you decide you want to escape, the other characters in Wonderland will help you, but you have to do something for them first to get them to help you. And
So it goes into the whole world of Alice in Wonderland.
and so they have different people developing each of the different other characters' game, so to speak. I'm like, that sounds really cool. So I'm excited to see what happens with that.
I spent the whole weekend across the aisleway from Thunderworks games.
Oh yeah, you did.
So I just
You're
kept
staring
staring at them playing. So they kept demoing Lockup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
was weird because it came out at the same time as Cartographers, but Cartographers caught all the buzz.
It did.
So Lockup kind of got put under the radar a little bit. So I managed to get a copy of that. But of course the artwork looks amazing.
Oh, awesome.
It looks it looks like Role Player. It's like the same artist.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know anything about Lockup, so I'm curious
it's more of it's probably you guys probably like it because it is more of a Euro-y kind of I think he said it was a worker placement
Okay.
Cool.
kind of game.
I like worker placement.
My brain is so fried I don't remember exactly what he said
Aw.
when I was talking with Tim, the guy there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I managed to get around a little bit on Sunday because we had a bunch of people, and talked to a few people. We I was pointing out the shelf we got a little stocked. I talked to like Bezier Games and got silver, which I didn't realize you had played at Dice Tower Con.
We just demoed it. It was
Okay.
just a quick demo.
Yeah, we did one hand.
I thought it was when I had been hearing about it, that it was like a quick or a light enough card game that it might fill that like overlapping niche, and that's what I was telling them about. And I even messed up when I was talking to them. I was like, well, and we talking like small, and one of the places where we're all the similar is like small party games like Silver. And she was like, well, Silver's not a part. I'm like, did I say party game? I just meant lighter games.
Yeah.
Like I meant to just say like small light card games, and I ended up saying party games and looked like an idiot.
Oh no. Well, you were exhausted at that point.
At least
Yeah.
I wasn't with you.
Yeah.
What? Oh, making us look bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I managed to get I don't know if you can see it over there, Cthulhu Death May Die, the big box CMON. This is the one that they were showing off.
Oh, is that the black with the red dot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That-
the one they had like the baby size Cthulhu.
I'm just
Right.
mad he didn't
Ah.
get the baby size Cthulhu. Come on, Chris. You're slacking.
I don't know if they had that for sale.
No, I don't.
I saw someone walking with it.
Yeah,
and just,
but
like
I
running
think
into everyone.
Yeah, I don't think that was for sale. I think somebody may have just brought it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just
I have
showing
no
it
idea.
off.
I'm just teasing.
But I was gonna say that was when we were at the CMON Expo. That was the game that they announced while we were at the CMON Expo,
Oh, okay.
like
yeah.
last year.
Oh yeah. Because I remember them.
It was
bringing it.
2018.
I remember them bringing it by last
Dice
year at Dice
Tower
Tower
Con.
Con
Right.
because we were playing a game, or I was playing a game with Rob Davio.
And of course, the minis look amazing. I broke it out and just kind of like flipped
Yeah.
through a little bit. I haven't sat down with it any meaning way,
That's cool.
but
We also got to meet a podcasting hero of mine, moderator Chris from the
Oh, yeah.
Flip the Table podcast, and I got 10,000 points from him.
You did.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
true.
They had these like postcards that say 10,000 points. It's like-
Yeah, he was working at the Formal Ferret Games booth.
Yeah, he was demoing their new game coming out. It was like it's on pre-order now, is what he said. I can't remember the name of it. It was a kind of city building, but it's in the vein of taking a lot of the luck out of Monopoly. It was like
It was actually pretty
It
cool.
reminded me of basically it's Monopoly without the roll and move mechanic.
Yes, because there's no dice.
And there is a corruption track, and you lose points at the end of the game based on your corruption level.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty neat.
you have to get building materials to be able to build.
Yeah, you're
was
you're
that
basically
called?
construction companies.
I'm blanking on the name too. What the heck?
Yeah.
We could look it up later.
Monopoly, the longest version ever,
It wasn't that.
which is
No.
an actual thing. Did you see that?
Yes.
No,
That's a thing?
Hasbro announced they're making a Monopoly, the longest version ever.
And it's
Okay.
it's a double looped board.
Yeah, there's an inner track and an outer track,
Oh.
and I think it's out now because I've seen pictures of people holding up the board.
So we got asked in the chat, did you guys ever make it to the Unpub room?
No.
We didn't.
No.
I mean, it wasn't.
I don't even know where it was.
It wasn't on the map, and it was tucked away in some crevice that Matt Hawker found, and because he went hunting for it.
Yeah, that's right. They
Yeah.
did move it because last year it was like
was in
right.
the
It was right
Skyway.
outside. Yeah, it was like right outside the exhibit hall. They did move a bunch of stuff around.
Yeah, but it was kind of a double no-no because like they hid it away and it wasn't on the map.
Yeah, which was really strange.
So people, I don't know how much foot traffic people got in there.
Right.
Which is kind of sad,
Mhm.
but oh well.
Yeah, they moved a bunch. It was weird because they moved a lot of the. So last year a lot of the tournaments were like downstairs, and this year they moved them back upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like it was in a whole separate area last year, and it was just like the exhibit hall and the open play test.
Okay.
And I think they opened up more space because the room that the exhibit hall was in seemed bigger.
It was huge.
Yeah,
It
and
was
so I think
huge.
they moved some of that stuff back upstairs.
Yeah, and they smeared it this year from how it was last year. It was
Yeah. Well, that's how it was the first
it
year.
was. Yeah, it was laid out.
But
this-
it was
but it was
small
so
the
much
first year.
smaller this year,
Yeah.
or the first
It was
year.
like half the size of the entire
One
space
thing-
it was in.
One thing I really did like about this, I mean, granted, this is the only big con I've been to, but I really liked how they had each booth was kind of in a corner. Like there was a walkway on three sides of every booth.
They did seem like they had a lot more room. They had the booths a little bit more spread out,
They
so
were.
the walkways were better.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still crowded. Like, I still was annoyed with people.
Like the
squeezing
smallest
through.
booths were kind of like groups of 4,
Okay.
Yeah.
to where there was like everybody was basically a corner,
A
like she
corner
was
of a
saying.
square. Okay, that's
So it wasn't like Gen Con where you have like the huge aisle with a couple of cutaways in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah, this
to
was
try and get through.
cutaways
That's-
between every
I don't know,
section.
that's kind of
It definitely
Yeah.
made it feel more open as
Yeah.
far
Yeah.
as
It was
There was
really
always
nice.
a place you could cut through.
The downside of that is, you know how like a lot of times there's always the big crowds around like the Asmodee and like the
Yeah.
cool stuff booths
Mhm.
and those bigger ones, and it
Yeah.
kind of peters out the further away from that you get. Well, it just gets really apparent when you get down to like the end at PAX when they're so open.
That's true.
And I got down to like to where like the table or the Game Toppers booth was, and it was just like there's just so much room
I
in
can
between.
stretch here.
It seems like
Yeah.
there was even more room between the
Yeah.
things. It also didn't help. I was walking. I did a lot of my rooming around before the hall even opened,
so it was even
so there was
less
even
crowded.
less crowded.
Yeah,
so
I
much
actually
more room for activities.
from the media room, which they had a big window that overlooked the vendor
Yeah.
hall, and so I actually took a couple pictures and I posted them on Instagram if people are curious what it kind of looked like. I mean, it's not a full view, but it was from 2 angles of the vendor hall, so I thought that was cool.
So Matt brings up a comment in the chat, and this was something that I heard about through email a little bit. He said, "Sounds like behind the scenes there was some controversy in terms of how PAX
Ah.
organized stuff for media members and
Yes.
publishers."
I saw.
Yeah, they
this,
sent us
the
an email, and so I don't think PAX had anything to do with this. I
It was
think
the
this
Pennsylvania Convention
that was the
Center.
way the email was phrased. Is that the hall, the actual convention hall, was like, if you had a camera that had any sort of
attachment.
attachment or mic or whatever,
Or
you had to
lighting or-
get
yeah.
show. What do they call it? Show labor
Yeah,
or
show
something
labor. Yep.
to use it.
And it was
like, if
it
it
was
required-
convention center hired people.
Yeah, like to use it. Like if you needed to plug in, like even if it was, you know how like I've had like a mic plug into the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you couldn't use that without
show labor.
show labor or whatever. Although I saw plenty of people still doing
I did
it.
too.
Yeah.
And they also didn't tell anybody this until Saturday, which I
And
guess
they
is
only sent it in an email. So if you
Yeah.
didn't check your I would hope you check your email.
And
but
also, I think that's why I think it was like PAX didn't know, or if somebody at the convention center was probably like, "Well, you can't do this," and then PAX was like, "Crap, we got to send out this email now."
mm-hmm.
Cover ourselves.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was. That was crazy.
So yeah, I did get to talk with some people. Like I met the lady, one of the ladies that works over at Ravensburger,
Oh, yeah.
because it was actually like. It was just one of those things where I was just walking around with some people, and then they start talking to people, and then it's like, "Oh, hey, do you know Chris?" And so now I know. Now I'm talking with said people. We were
Nice.
talking about like all the possible villainous ideas that we could do,
Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
especially when you're talking like the Disney copyright lawyers.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "I can't say anything while I'm wearing this shirt."
That's funny.
Here, quick, throw this nondescript hoodie on. Now say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I say we. I'm before somebody interprets this. They didn't say anything. It was like me and another reviewer were saying all this stuff.
Mm.
So, but who else did I meet? I also got to talk with somebody at Wink Games.
Oink.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They do the little small, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fake,
yeah.
a fake artist goes to New York and like
Yeah.
Deep
Insider.
Sea Adventure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone always brings up Deep Sea Adventure, but I didn't. That was like the one I didn't really like.
That's the one that everyone knows, though.
Yeah, but
I enjoyed it.
I didn't like it.
We played it at Dice Tower
It
Con
just
last year.
seemed-
Or this past year.
Like nothing. Oh look, I went and did a thing, and
I think it's.
I like the
I
push your
saw
luck
like
aspect.
there's an Instagram account we follow called like Honest Board.
yeah.
Oh,
Honest
yeah.
Board game titles, and Deep Sea Adventure is like the game where everyone dies or something like that. Because that's how a
Well,
lot
it's
of
funny
the
because
games
there's
end.
actually a Japanese game called Everyone Dies in the End
Oh my gosh.
that I got to play at an Origins one time.
Hmm.
But and let's see, I'm looking at over there to see like where else
You went to Lucky Duck.
I did go to Lucky Duck, and I was talking to Calvin. I said I threw his name down when I was talking to them. Like, oh hey, do you know Calvin Wong? And they're like, yeah, like, yo, he wouldn't stop talking about Ganymede when he was on our show.
And they gave you a copy.
Yeah, and managed to get that, which apparently there's the Moon expansion that they were selling is actually not available in retail yet.
Oh.
So I think it's coming January, February. So I need to get that played so it's more of a timely review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Haba's booth.
Yeah, I was about to say that. We got to talk with Tiff.
Yeah.
Tiff Kyrez.
Yeah.
And she's cool. Like I had seen her stuff around, like her review stuff before, but we got to meet and talk with her, and like she said in our talk, she's like, so what are your favorite games? Because we're trying to see about reviewing games for them, and she said, just tell me what your favorite games are, and listed them off. Like Kingdom Builder. Like, oh, I could play Kingdom Builder all day, and I listed off a few others. Like, oh, that's good.
Suburbia was one.
Yeah, and
she really liked.
And so she said, yeah, and we should game sometime if we meet up again, and found her on Twitter. Like, we followed each other, and like she said, I'm serious, like we should game together sometime. All right.
Just a note then, if you ever do game, I think they refer to themselves as they.
Yeah.
Just for reference.
Yeah. I remember that as I was saying that.
Yeah.
Just looking out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I followed Tiff on Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's on her page too. They them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people with like the pronoun badges and stuff, which
Yes,
I definitely
saw a lot of
I
those.
definitely appreciate.
I appreciate it. It's hard for me because I'm so ingrained in him.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm
binary
yes,
thinking.
And I'm trying to break myself of that. But we met. There's a couple from Dice Tower Con that we know. It's Jay and Patricia, and I saw them at PAX, and they're big proponents of gender equality and pronoun neutrality and stuff like that. And when I was talking with them on Saturday night, I kept saying, guys, you guys.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh my gosh, stop it, Cindy. I can't. It just kept coming out. And then I felt so bad because I'm like, I hope I'm not offending them. And I don't think
that's
I
my
am,
worst
but
offender is saying
Yeah.
guys. It's a habit I'm working on.
Yeah. I'm trying to like say something else, like even just y'all. But my God.
I try and go with y'all. That's my my preferred.
It's just my default is you guys.
Yeah, and I think I even said you guys referring to you two. But it's just a habit in general.
Right.
I'm trying to
And
to
I'm not.
break.
And when I say it, I don't mean any disrespect. I mean, to me, guys is gender neutral. But I know that it could be offensive to somebody, and I'm trying to break myself of that habit of saying it.
Yeah, that's why occasionally when you hear me reading stuff, and I'll like when I sign off and I say thank you guys. I mean, you'll hear me trip up because my default is to say thank you guys, and then I realize like crap.
Yeah.
So, have we got what else? Have we finished? What else we got to talk about PAX? We've hit all around the board.
Did you eat anywhere fun?
The pizza place was good. Well, the pizza place was cool because they did not. They made a big deal about. They didn't offer any plastic. Like they didn't sell any of the. Like they didn't have like any silverware that was disposable silverware or disposable cups. The only way you bought drinks was like I was expecting like a fountain or something. They didn't even have that. It was just bottles and cans because those are recyclable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's what the only thing that they had where they had the hard kind of the hard cups that if you drop them on the floor, they're always like clang, 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 clang.
Yeah.
They bounce.
Yeah. They had those for like their water. That was
That's really
and
cool.
it was in one of these nice like infusion tank things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate those. I hate flavored water.
Well, it didn't really taste flavor. It just tasted like water, but it looked like it.
Yeah. Our hotel had lemon water, and luckily it wasn't a very strong lemon flavor, so I could drink it, but
It depends on if you're at the top or the bottom where it's just all diluted.
Yeah. So I think the one thing that I want to say, I guess, about PAX, like the big takeaway I took this year, especially because last year we were there for a day, so I knew it was going to be overwhelming. And then the year before that, it was so much smaller, is that this year was extremely overwhelming for me. And I was just so emotionally drained by the end of the weekend because I'm an introvert, and being around that many people that close together, it was very, very, very stressful. And I mean, I had a great time, other than having a bad headache Friday night. But, so I had a great time. But, oh my gosh, just be aware if you're somebody that's like me that, gets very anxious around huge crowds of people. Make sure that you have some space that you can go and kind of escape to.
They had
Even
that actually.
They had an AFK room.
They have an AFK room,
which I didn't actually use,
Mhm.
but
a lot of conventions are starting to do that.
They
and I
are,
think it's really
which
cool.
is great.
Gen Con even has it. It's a little. You don't necessarily know unless you're looking for it.
Okay.
But the years I've seen it in the past, it's you know how you go when you're going from where like the media room is to the exhibit hall.
Okay.
And there's stairwell. There's that
Going up. Yep.
Yep. It's in that little plaza when you go up that escalator.
Oh,
That's right
okay.
there.
Yeah, so they had that, but for me,
We have the press room. So
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that is our.
We use the press room as our getaway
I
room.
actually,
It's our
did
getaway
that.
room. It's our landmark.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, press room, 10 minutes. That's where we're all going to meet, and then we're going to go to dinner. All right.
Oh man, I just wish that's the one thing I love about PAX that I wish not the only thing, but one thing that I like. The lockers at PAX. I love that.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
Where you can go and you give them like your card that's got your number,
Your business
and
card.
they give you a lock, and they're all different. They're basically like the animal cages
Okay.
that you would like kennels,
Yeah,
but they're all different sizes. So the only problem is when somebody goes and like reserves one and just leaves like a coat in this like really huge one.
Oh,
They actually
yeah.
had coat racks this year, which I thought was fantastic.
Well, no, but what I'm
That's
saying
a-
is they're,
people,
the people that like get the big ones, but they don't have a lot of stuff. They're just
Yeah.
reserving
Yeah.
it.
Don't
for, like,
take a 24-inch cube space for
Although I saw
your
some people
clutch.
also, although I saw some
there we
people
go.
that had like the equipment and may have been on the floor with it, but I
Yeah.
saw them in the setup in the room in the media room that
Yeah.
they had it tricked out.
Yeah, the media room was great, but not everybody has access to that. So having
Yeah.
the AFK room, but also even if you like, for me, like I know at cons a lot of people go and they'll share rooms with friends or they'll share rooms and stuff. But for me, what was so important was having that space to myself. Like when I didn't feel good Friday night, I could go back. I went back to my room by myself. Well, I mean, Colin walked me back because it was dark and I hate being alone
By
outside.
yourself.
Yeah. But I didn't have to worry about like a roommate coming back and being loud or anything. I could just kind of chill and do what I wanted. And it was nice having that escape. So just something to be
we never have
mindful
to worry
of.
about that problem because nobody ever goes back to the room except for like the one or two people that need to go back to the
Oh
room.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And even with Gen Con, when we're shoving 4 people into a room,
At a minimum.
at a maximum, sir, 4 people per room. We do not break any hotel regulations. I don't know what the
That's been my
hell you're
only
talking about.
that's been my only concern with looking into the possibility because it's been thoughts like our group's getting to the point where it's like, why don't we just get a house?
Oh yeah,
And then I mean, yes, there's the distance
you got to shuttle in.
in, but then I'm also concerned about because there are a couple people in our group who want to have the space nearby so that they can go decompress.
Just disappear real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's always no one in all the years I've gone with all the different crowds. No one has ever just busted into a room,
Yeah.
yelling. I mean,
Oh, but I don't.
the loudest part of a person entering is the door opening.
Yeah.
And whenever I come home.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that would be the case if I were roomies, but I know myself, and don't compromise if you know yourself and you need that quiet personal time. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying is just pay attention to your body's needs, I guess. Your own social, emotional needs.
I get it.
Yeah. Okay, I have one more story to tell before we move on. Well, this one is key because it's read and referenced on this show several times about how I've never played Gloomhaven.
Oh, yeah.
And so I actually Friday night got to hang out and play a game. It was called Stinky Farts.
Okay.
You would appreciate this. It was the artwork. It was I think it was like Taiwanese or
Was it
Chinese
Stinky
game.
Farts or was Stinky Queens?
Stinky Queens
Okay.
or Smelly Queens or something like that. But basically, the point of this game is you're trying to grab cards almost like Ticket to Ride style to set collection. And when you get a certain number of different types of cards, you feed these sweet potatoes is what you're getting to the queen, who then eats them to make different types of farts. Like there was the and it's everything's written in like a Japanese script, but like Isaac was the person. Isaac Childress, the creator of Gloomhaven, was showing this to us, and it was like he was translating like, this one's the noisy fart, this one's the loud fart, this one's the explosive fart, and that sort of thing. But anyways, after that, or during that conversation at some point, I was talking with him about how it's like, you know, anytime I bring up Gloomhaven, people all the time like, oh, we should play. And I'm like, yes, we should. And then nobody ever comes back with me.
No
with
one ever.
it. So Sunday, because from where I'm sitting, we can see, of course, you could see the Gloomhaven booth everywhere.
Oh,
But the
yeah.
Frosthaven booth everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Gloom, it was kind of like catty
It was
corner
right
to
in
us.
the middle of the
Yeah.
vendor hall.
It was it was a pretty good view from where we were. So I'm just sitting there looking at it, and like I really want to know more about, be up on my Gloomhaven knowledge before that Kickstarter comes out, so I could like talk to Isaac about it and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I go over there Sunday, and I'm like, all right, I don't want. I feel bad for this, but so remembering our talk the other night, the only way I'm gonna get Gloomhaven played is if I just do it myself. So is there any way I could get a review copy so I could try this game out for myself? And I managed to get one. So I will be playing Gloomhaven somehow.
Woohoo!
I've already punched everything out. I was telling you about it. Half that box is cardboard punch outs.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
This is
Who makes this game? Fantasy Flight?
No,
Cephalofair.
no. This puts a Fantasy Flight game to shame.
Really?
Cephalofair.
Yeah.
That's the name of the company.
But
Alright.
I've been looking it up. You would probably like it, but we don't. We still haven't figured out when we're going to play games.
We still haven't. No.
Although I got to thinking, we should do like a Christmas Eve stream or something.
Mm.
That might be good for that.
Hmm.
The only problem is I need an insert for it because it's just a lot of bits.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a
Mhm.
lot
You
of bits.
had one.
Does
I
anyone
did
make
have
a-
one. Huh?
Does anyone make a Gloomhaven?
Oh, there's plenty of people
There's
that make
front,
them.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had one that I gave to John for him to look at and review.
Ah.
And then he used it with his, and because they shipped me the Gloomhaven one instead of the Founders of Gloomhaven one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, that was it. So before we do that, before we go, I can't talk. No segues. So I'm going to segue by saying segue into patreon.com/boards and swords. I finally figured out how we're gonna, because we've been behind on some of these bonus episodes,
Okay.
and I talked with Philip, and we've got a plan going forward,
Mm-hmm.
and that is we're bringing back the OCD show.
Bringing it back.
We're bringing it back.
Mm.
So this was kind of the precursor of of what we do as Boards and Swords now.
That's right.
But it was every Sunday night we used to get together and just chat about all kinds of nerdy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was where I first started making jokes about the news. We started playing games on it, etc.
Nice.
But we're bringing it back as a monthly podcast only for patrons.
Ah.
Nice.
And it's just going to be Phil and I just talking all the other stuff that doesn't get put on the show. So like comic books, TV shows, Letterkenny. Did you see there's a Christmas season
I
coming
saw
up?
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course I
So-
saw that.
Yeah. So all of that, and you're only going to get that if you
Love
go
Letterkenny.
if you go and subscribe and support us over at patreon.com/boards and swords.
All right, then.
And with that, I'll flip it over.
Okay, so I got a game show. This is the good and bad ratings game.
Mm.
So I'm going to read you, these are all ratings from BGG. I'm going to read you a 10 and a 1, and you guys are going to write down what game you think they are describing.
Okay.
And then that's round 1. Round 2 is going to be something that I'll announce when we get there because I don't want to give you any, like, one up on
So
that.
no multiple choice, we just randomly think of.
You just think, most of them, it's going to have some sort of clue as to what it is. And these are all games that you all have you may not have all played, but you
Oh,
all
heard
know
of.
of. Yes, you know of them and how they play and whatnot. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right, so the first game, here's the 10 rating. It's easy to learn, lots of different strategic decision making, great theme. This is our go-to casual game that we can play while watching some mindless show. Everyone who's played it so far has enjoyed it. Also, we've tried one of the expansion packs, and it's a nice refresher to the game with some added rules and options. It's nice to know they've got a couple of those out there to vary the game up. That's our 10.
This sounds suspiciously like Munchkin.
Anyway, all right, here's the rated 1, or the 1 rating. A glorified exercise in accounting. Doesn't even satisfy as a roll and write as it doesn't use dice. Ugh. All right. So I'll give you a minute to think about
I was
what
gonna
this is.
say 1, but
Okay, I've got my answer.
I'm down.
Wrong answers only, Philip. Just write something.
Right?
Just
That's
write
probably
something.
what it
Well,
is.
just put Munchkin down.
Right? Put Munchkin for everything.
Just leave Munchkin on your card and just hold that one up.
You've won a couple times recently. Don't worry about it.
I have, you're right.
Create your own game.
Exactly.
If you can make Cindy laugh, maybe she'll give you the point.
Mm.
Maybe.
My pencil broke.
Oh no! Good thing it's
I
a
win. No. It's okay. It's mechanical. It's fine. She like turned around to hand me another pencil. I'm like, they're mechanical. It's okay.
No, I was grabbing the coins because you said points, and I'm like, oh right, I need coins.
Okay, I got my,
All right.
my 10.
That
No,
was
it's the same game.
It was the same game.
Oh, it's the exact
It's
same.
the same game.
She's giving you the 10 and the 1 for the same game to try and figure out.
Oh, I thought they were separate games.
No, I'm sorry.
I did not understand these rules at all.
I'm sorry.
And this is why you only play Munchkin, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh no.
All right.
Well, just use the one you have then.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're using.
All right.
We're going
So,
with it anyway.
Colin, we'll go with you first.
I put welcome to.
I also put Welcome to.
Philip?
I put Ticket to Ride.
Oh.
I almost put Ticket to Ride.
With the expansions, I
at
totally
the
get
beginning,
that.
Yeah.
when she read the 10, it was until she read the 1 that I was like, wait
that's
a
what
minute.
centered me in.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving you both. Okay. So it was welcome to. So Chris and Colin
Woo!
each get a point.
Nice.
All right. So the next one.
But I get your thinking because I
Yeah,
almost put Ticket to Ride.
Expansions. There's no dice.
All right. The next one. This is the 10 rating. 2 minutes of heaven that leaves us sweaty and smiling. The
Ew.
silent variant is just as good as the speaking one, and we alternate between them during play. And here's the 1 rating. 1 play is more than enough.
I got
Man,
my
that
answer.
was so helpful.
Right?
I've got my answer already.
2 minutes of heaven that leaves us sweaty and smiling. That's your big clue there. And there could be a silent variant.
I like.
What was the 1 rating again?
Just never
One
played.
play is
One
more than
play
enough.
is more
one
than
play
enough.
is more than enough. Okay, gotcha. Anything involving flicking.
Sweaty and smiling? And a silent variant?
Flick it quietly.
Right?
I got a best guess.
Okay.
The silent variant what was throwing me off.
Mm.
Is that even a...
You know this game, Philip.
Apparently I don't.
Oh, now I'm even more confident in my answer.
Wrong answers only. Just write something down.
Right? I'm going to go with... Okay.
All right, what do you have?
I'm almost 100% certain I put down the title to the wrong game. I put Hop.
Oh.
Mm.
No,
That is a game title.
That is a game.
that was the one where you throw the
okay,
ring.
that's 100% what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Okay.
I put
Chris.
Happy Salmon.
Happy
Colin?
salmon.
It is Happy Salmon.
I didn't realize there was a silent version of that.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Oh no.
We've talked about it because
Why is there a
you
silent
just make the
version?
motions. You just make the motions.
We talked about it a few episodes
You
ago.
might need to write the time down.
Why
Yeah.
is there a silent version? That's stupid.
Oh my. Okay. So here's the next one. Here's the 10 rating. Absolute classic. One of the very best designer board games in my opinion. I can play back-to-back games and enjoy every minute of it. Wood hogging for the win. All right, here's the one rating. I really think I hate this game. If I have a bunch of wood and a lazy farmhand, why on earth can't he build me that bloomin' fence I need so I can buy some cows later?
Oh.
Stupid game with a pasted-on theme.
Oh, not that one.
I think. No.
Damn it.
Philip!
What?
We
Making
need a,
work
we
for
need
me.
a bleeping
Sorry.
button.
This is what happens when you burn Philip out. The filters go away.
I'm sorry, Philip.
Quick work on the profanity buzzer there.
Routine.
There you go.
I'll use that.
Cut
yeah,
that out.
I will. Yeah, yeah.
No, you just gotta. Have you ever seen The Good Place?
No.
You just gotta substitute. Be like, what the fork?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'll start using a Battlestar Galactica.
Frack.
Frack.
No, like the thing of it is in the because you're in The Good Place, you can't cuss. So every time you try to say it, it just comes out
Fork.
as something different.
That show is hilarious.
I've never fully seen it. I just have read a lot
I've
about it or
seen-
heard a lot about it.
I think I've seen seasons 1 and 2 in entirety. 3, I think, is finally
Wait.
on Netflix.
I think.
I
don't
think
remember I don't remember the title of the game.
If you describe it, I can tell you the game you're thinking of.
It's the tiles with the different
Roads on them.
not really the different roads, but like the different
Are you thinking of Carcassonne?
yes, that's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. Because that's the one with the different tiles, like the plains. And
Yeah, yeah.
like all the
When someone just said
interconnected and-
tile laying, I was like, I think
Yeah.
he's thinking Carcassonne.
I think that's what
Is
I'm
that your
thinking of.
answer?
That's my answer.
Okay, Colin.
I put Agricola.
I put Agricola.
It is Agricola.
What the hell is Agricola?
That's a deep cut too. Yeah, I would not.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it because Agricola is a terrible game.
It is
so
a
don't-
terrible
Okay.
game. I don't even like it. All right. So
Why would you use it?
because I just picked a variety of games. All right. The next one. Here's a 10 rating.
It's like farming. The farming. It's actually the
It's farming without the adventuring, which is why I like Caverna
which is
so much.
farming.
At first, I thought it was Catan because she was going with
I
wood.
did think it was Catan too. Honestly, it's funny because there's an inside joke that the real name or the title of this game. There's an inside joke called Misery Farm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's
Yeah.
a much better description of the game.
Okay. All right. So here's the next one. Here's the 10 rating. I can't say how much I love this game. It gets criticism for the betting mechanic being overpowered and incentivizing pushing an early leader. However, that mindset could be turned to your advantage through clever card management, so I'm not seeing the problem. And the 1 rating. Boring, irritating, stupid. Make it stop.
That one's a little tricky.
Yeah.
It's a dead heat between me and Chris.
You might have it on this one because I can't think of that many betting games.
I'll give you a hint, Chris. This is a game you own.
Okay. So that cuts out every Western themed game ever.
Well, that's good.
So makes our jobs a little easier there, Chris.
Oh,
I think Chris is gonna pull ahead there.
I think. I mean,
Your games are in the other room now, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Right.
we can't just
Do I need to
eyeball.
just open the door? You could probably see Philip couldn't, but Colin could see most of them.
We need a few more cameras just to
We
have
have
a live
all-
feed of the games on the shelves.
I feel like I don't know about Philip, but I know
Yeah,
that
I don't. If it's the game I'm thinking of, I don't think Philip's played it.
Okay. I know the 3 of us have though.
I know I'm
But if
wrong.
it's the game I'm thinking of, never mind. I'm not going to give any hints then.
Yeah, I know I'm wrong, but I just wrote something down.
Okay.
If it's the game I'm
Dang,
thinking of, I've mentioned it within the past 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks
yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
Well, I could have said a more narrow frame, but I don't want to give you any more hints. I'm trying to help him out, but not you.
Like today.
No.
I have not mentioned
He
it
did not
today.
mention it.
That's what
today.
I was hoping. Like I've mentioned it within the past 60 minutes. I'm like, oh, I can probably think back that far.
I've given that clue before, and you still couldn't get it.
All
Like,
right.
oh, by the way, this was mentioned on this episode.
Oh, was it a game I cared about?
No, meaning, never mind.
Oh.
No, it was not Munchkin.
Okay, see, that's why I didn't remember. I was like, whatever. It wasn't even Munchkin. Stupid.
betting game. I'm gonna lose this round. That's
Okay,
Okay.
I have an answer.
All right, Chris, what do you think it is?
downforce.
Colin,
I put wits and wagers.
and then Philip.
I should put blackjack.
It is Downforce.
Yeah, that one took me. That one took me a
Okay.
sec.
All right. Here's the 10 rating for our next game. This is just fantastic. Now, with several expansions and a ton of cards, this game is quite a lot of fun and has plenty of variety. I also love the Legacy version, but even with just the base game, it's both simple to grasp and fun to play every single time. The 1 rating. Wow, overrated game. No real decisions. The cards you draw dictate what you can buy and where you can go.
I'm just trying to think of how we can make like a Legacy Munchkin. Like, this sounds great.
Wait, read me the 10 again.
This is just fantastic. Now with several expansions and a ton of cards, this game is quite a lot of fun and has plenty of variety. I also love the Legacy version, but even with just the base game, it's both simple to grasp and fun to play every single time.
I have an idea, but it doesn't fully fit the description. Read the 1 now again.
Wow, overrated game. No real decisions. The cards you draw dictate what you can buy and where you can go.
See, that one, the 1's throwing me off.
But a lot of times the 1-star reviews, they're, you know,
Are just trolls.
They're not actively.
I mean, you're
making
limited. There's a Legacy version, so that limits
Yes.
the gameplay
Yeah.
down. Yeah, I have an answer. I'm not 100% confident in said answer.
No, because that was dumb. I didn't write that down. There is no non-legacy of that game. I put down Time Stories, but like there's no non-legacy of that game.
Right.
True.
And there's no buying. Well, maybe there is in some of the other ones.
Yeah, this is, for your sake, Philip,
know,
this is a game that
Buy anything in that one?
had a Legacy version made of it after it was really popular.
Well, that
So it's not, I'm just saying it's not Time Stories.
right. No. I get you. I get
Okay.
you there. Go. I mean, but like you don't buy anything in that, so why would that even be?
Like
I'm
Colin said,
I'm not in Time Story. I'm not in Time Story anymore.
I know.
I'm in my own.
I'm just, like Colin said, sometimes the 1-star reviews aren't always the most accurate.
Well, no, the 10 had the buying.
No, it didn't.
It was just a lot of cards.
It says there's a ton of cards and there's lots of variety.
Oh yeah.
And you've played this.
Oh, then this is definitely wrong.
Sorry. Did you give up?
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
I
Chris.
got
I said
nothing.
Machikoro.
Colin?
I said Pandemic.
Oh, no one got it. It's Clank.
My head just went to Clank, but I
Yeah?
was like,
Because it's brand new, I didn't think of Clank
Yeah,
Legacy.
Yeah.
my brain's there too.
Yeah.
That's why I like Machikoro with the expansions and the buying of cards.
It's true. Yeah, that was a good thought, Chris.
That, yeah.
You were
And I
closer
get how
than
you
me.
thought Pandemic.
I was like, I'm just gonna discount certain parts of this, take what I can run with.
Yeah. Okay, all right, the next one. The 10 rating. I am always happy and glad to have the opportunity to play this, whether it is 4, 5, or the glorious 6-player version. Never tried 3-player. The nuances of the game vary from aggressive war to scheming and negotiations and to racing towards certain objectives. I never regret dedicating such a long period of my day to playing. Why? This is the number 1 rating. Why? Oh God, why? We were so happy to see one more great expansion, and you produced this? Well, I'll try to be mild. Piece of crap. Useless for owners of previous expansions, and you have made the mother of all board games marginal. Shame on you, developers. Shame on you.
I thought I had it.
Yeah, I thought I did too.
Go with your gut.
This isn't Hero Quest, is it?
Go with your gut.
The best thing about Hero Quest is more Hero Quest. Or excuse me, the best thing about Hero Quest is the expansions, and the only which are crap, because the only way to expand Hero Quest is with more Hero Quest. You know what's great is that video's gotten around so much that you can say that, and so many people start laughing.
They
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
And there's always that one person that's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, we get to take in this moment
Right.
where you
Right.
now
We get
see
to-
this, where I get to show you
Drag
this."
you into this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, I've got something written down.
I think Philip's writing.
I'm just gonna go with it.
Okay. All right. Colin.
I have TI4.
I said TI4.
I said TI4.
Yeah, you all got it right.
Awesome.
You threw me off with the expansion piece, and I'm like, "Oh,
I
maybe
know,
they're
the
talking."
person
I think
just-
they're talking about TI3.
Yeah.
They are. The person was not an English speaker, and it was obvious. I had to adjust a few things. All right, last one. So,
Is this still just for 1 point?
yeah.
Or is this for 7 points?
All right. So the
So
rated,
what? Give me a chance to.
the 10 rating, brilliant, deep, abstract two-player puzzle mixing economy with time management, fun premise and delightful composition. The 1 rating, really? This has a higher rank than chess and Go?
I'm gonna need that again.
All right. The number 10, brilliant, deep, abstract two-player puzzle mixing economy with time management, fun premise and delightful composition.
Again,
Poor Philip.
not very confident in this answer, but it's kind of sort of fits.
You'll have Philip. It'll be better for you in round 2. I promise.
There's a second
Round
round.
2?
I told you guys this. It'll go much faster.
There's going to be a lot of editing here.
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of editing. Yeah.
I'm thinking of putting a Jeopardy. It's like, doot, doot, doot.
Well, that's the great part about post editing is you could just cut out the line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was it? Give me the 10 one more time.
Brilliant, deep, abstract two-player puzzle mixing economy with time management, fun premise and delightful composition.
I don't know. I'm like 60% sure of my answer.
I
Just put blackjack again.
right.
Just hold up, Munchkin.
Okay, I have an answer.
Okay, Chris, what do you have?
I put patchwork.
Colin?
That's what I put.
I put Pickle Rick.
It was patchwork.
Yay!
Okay, all right. So this one's going to go so much faster. All right. Now we're going to rank them. And in this way, somebody is going to tell me what they think the rank is, and then the other 2 people are going to say if it's higher or lower.
Oh, isn't this like what we did before?
Yes,
Okay.
it's similar. So, if both people that say higher or lower are wrong, then the person who said the original rank gets a point.
Well, because you could both say lower.
You could both say lower, and if it's
Oh.
actually higher, then the person who, yeah. Anyway, okay, all right. So back to Welcome To. Chris, where is Welcome To rated? This is on BGG,
And there were the
or
last,
where is it ranked?
last
Not rated, ranked.
Ranked. Okay. And there's no last time we had boundaries. We're not having any boundaries on this one, right?
No, you give me.
I know last time we it was
Oh,
like
yeah,
they're
no.
I did
between
the
5.
rating. I did
Okay,
the
it was you
rating.
that did this. And
Yeah.
it was like it was between 5 and 7 or whatever.
No, there's no
All right.
boundary.
I'm gonna say 537.
Okay, Colin, is that higher? Is
Do you want them
Welcome
to write
To's-
it down and flip it
No,
so that they can't both set like higher? And I agree with I agree with Colin.
I mean if you guys want. to
No,
do
just
that, but
well,
no.
otherwise it'll take too long. Just
yeah,
say it.
Colin.
I'm going to say it is higher, as in closer to 1.
Okay, Philip.
Okay. I will. Also
Better
say
than
it
or
is-
worse is probably better.
Yeah.
I said what 537.
You said
Yeah.
537. So I will. So yeah, Colin said it has a better rating than that. I say it has a better or rank. Excuse me.
Okay.
Yes.
And it does. It is ranked at 136.
Oh wow.
So,
I thought there was a chance of that, but I wasn't sure.
Okay. All right. The next game.
Thanks
Colin.
for lowballing.
Huh?
Thanks for lowballing.
Yeah.
All right, Colin. Happy Salmon. Where is that ranked?
Number 2. Because Munchkin's number 1.
We'll see. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
I mean no disrespect.
To Munchkin.
I mean no disrespect to the Don, to the salmon.
The salmon.
Yeah, the salmon. I'm gonna say 1533.
Okay, Philip. Do you think Happy Salmon is rated closer
Better,
to 1?
better or worse?
Yeah.
I will say it is better.
Okay, and Chris?
I'll go the flip side. Wait, you said what?
1533.
I'll go with the flip side and say worse.
It is better. It's actually 1,078. So Philip gets a point.
Right.
I was just banking. I just picked a random number that was over 1,000 because I was I'm pretty sure this isn't top 1,000.
It's close though.
Yeah.
All right, so Agricola. This one's for you, Philip.
Oh.
What's the ranking of Agricola?
Agricola, 2219.
Okay. Chris?
Better.
It is 28.
Yeah.
So you said 22, and I'm like, oh, he's really close. And then you
Oh,
added on 19.
19,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
no.
I knew Agricola was at least in the top.
I tried to give you a cues like it's up there in the
Yeah, it's 28. Okay. Chris, Downforce.
Downforce.
Where is it ranked?
See, it's weird because you think of like your personal rankings, but it's like how much do I hear it talked about?
Right.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm gonna go 537 again.
Okay. Colin, is it better or worse than 537?
What was the game?
Downforce.
I'm gonna say it is worse.
Okay.
I will also say it's worse.
Actually, it's better. It's 397.
Oh, I was actually not that far off.
So Chris gets 2 points. All right. Clank. This one's for Colin.
I am gonna go with 47.
Oh.
Okay. Philip, is Clank
That's hard.
better or worse? Worse? Chris?
Oh. 47?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I'm going to go worse. I think it's in the bottom 50.
It is 59.
Yes!
It is worse.
Mm.
So Chris and Philip each get a point. All right, Philip, this one's for you.
Okay.
Twilight Imperium 4.
Can I give him a hint?
No. I picked this one specifically for him because I knew you two would know exactly where it was.
Can I get a little hint? How
It's
many how many digits are in the number? Oh. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I've got 9 digits to choose from. Okay. There we go. I got 9
Oh,
numbers.
I'm actually surprised it went up to the top 10.
I got 9 numbers to pick from.
I knew it was
Okay,
in the
gotcha.
hundreds somewhere.
I'm gonna go with number
Like-
7.
Okay.
That's a
You guys can always say same as if you want.
That's a
Is
new
it-
rule she's
Yeah, that is a
introducing.
new rule.
Go.
No, I was meant to say it for Clank too. I'm sorry for all of them, but I just forgot because you're so limited on the numbers. So better, worse, or the same,
That's
or dead on, I should say.
Well, worse is only 8 and 9.
Yeah,
So
but it could be.
it could be. I know it goes Gloomhaven, Through the Ages, Pandemic Legacy,
Through the Ages is over Pandemic Legacy now,
or it may be flipped.
and
Isn't
Yeah.
Scythe up there?
Scythe, I think Scythe is 7 or 6.
Okay,
Twilight Struggle still top 10.
So I'm gonna go worse.
so you think it's 8 or 9?
I think it's 8 or 9.
Okay, Colin, what about you?
You know, I'm gonna go with Philip. I'm gonna say he's dead on.
It actually is 7.
Nice.
Good job, Philip. I'm giving Philip 2 because he said
The
dead
Scythe
on.
must be like
Okay.
5 now.
All right, so now this one,
Yeah,
you guys.
you don't only helped a little bit.
All right, so this one, you're going to write down what you think it is. And whoever is closest
Okay.
is
Period or
period. Yeah, whoever's close. So I might have to do some math here. All right, and Patchwork. Where is Patchwork ranked? Philip, it's in the top 100. I'm just going to say that.
That's what I was.
100.
That's what I was mouthing to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I saw top 1, and I was like, "No, he just said Gloomhaven."
You know
I'm
what?
dumb. I'm not stupid. Gosh.
I just want to prep everybody. This was going to be one of the jokes that was this was going to be one of the jokes that I did, but everybody prep your mind because we're about to have the same designer have the number 1 and number 2 spot on BGG because I'm predicting it now. Frosthaven, Gloomhaven get number 1, number
probably.
2.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
You got like a year because you got to wait for the game to actually come out
Mhm.
before I think you
Is
can.
it kickstarting?
Yeah, it's kickstarting in March.
With how people go and rate games on there, it
Right.
might not even be out yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
Focus on the
Yep,
game.
yep, yep.
No,
I got my
there's
thing
stuff
down
in the
already.
chat.
Do you have your answer, Chris?
I do.
Okay.
I have an answer.
All right. We'll go with Philip first because he's in last place.
48.
Okay.
62.
Colin, what do you say?
Wait, what is it? Is
Closest period.
Closest
it?
period.
Okay, I am 47.
The answer is, oh man, my app closed. Sorry.
That's not a number.
The answer is 67.
Oh!
So Chris is the most closest. So he's getting 3 points.
Boom.
So Chris
Just so you
really
don't have to
wins.
do math and count points.
No. Anyway. Yeah. So that was my, sorry. That was long. Sorry, Philip. I didn't mean to, make it hard on you.
People put way too much thought into some of those descriptions.
Right?
All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Play us out. Oh man, I forgot I restarted the thing. I got to pull back up the show notes. But anyways, that wraps up this week's episode. If you want to watch us live, we record every other Wednesday. 2 Wednesdays from now is actually Christmas.
Christmas Eve.
So we'll be recording.
Oh, Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be recording
Holy
next
crap.
week. boardsandswords.com/live it has the updated calendar. So I've even got people that peg me going, hey, this says you're recording on Christmas. Thanks for reminding me to change that.
If you guys like this show, you got to be sure to check out our live play podcast, The Dirtbags of Holding. That's where we take all those amazing RPGs that you'll find at conventions like Gen Con and PAX Unplugged, and we just completely destroy them.
Yeah. And if you like this podcast, you can email us comments and questions at feedback@boardsandswords.com. You can follow us on Instagram at boardsandswordspod or on Facebook at facebook.com/boardsandswordspod. And you should also follow our individual accounts. I'm Cindy Pastorius on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Coldcakes196 on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Chris the Prof. On both, I mean.
Oh, but okay, gotcha. And on Twitter, you can find me as Phil the Dirtbag.
We are also a part of the Dice Tower Network. Dice Tower Network is a collection of board game related podcasts. You can go and check out other board game podcasts on there. Similar theme to this one because I said they're board game themed. Awesome stuff. And you can also check out coolstuffinc.com. They do a lot to support the network. You can go find some great deals on board games at coolstuffinc.com.
And thank you once again for listening. Once again, make sure you go check out patreon.com/boardsandSwords to help support the show. And we'll see you back next time. In the meantime, remember that every gamer has a story, and you need to support the Patreon so you can hear our stories on OCD, because it's coming back.
It's coming back, y'all.
It's like a phoenix. This is like the 3rd time it's been
This is
brought back.
Only the 3rd?
Well, because I did it as a solo show.
Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right.
And then,
I thought there might have been a couple more.
no,
That's okay. All right.
unfortunately. I always like it when we finish, right when the music starts.
Yeah, it's good times.
Which is sad because it usually means we've messed up on the on getting stuff set out. Because if we're on cue with everything, there's usually like half the song left to go.
I'm glad it worked out that way, though.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for hanging.